Thanks for staying with us. So this morning we're going to be discussing police brutality. And the reason why we're discussing is because of the recent reports we've seen. There was one recently about in Cross River State. An incident happened where I think it was in there's a town, Ekori Community. An unidentified man was being hit by a cutlass. A policeman was using a cutlass to hit an unidentified man. And this obviously video went viral because it only speaks to the brutality Nigerians are still experiencing on the hands of many police officers. However, the CSP Olumuyiwa Adejobi, that's the Nigerian Police Force PRO, has already said that this is sad, that they were going to obviously investigate, that was completely uncalled for. The act of the policeman was completely uncalled for, and he said that the Commissioner of Police in the state has been contacted and necessary action will be taken on that incident specifically. Now, so we're happy of that, but you see, this morning we wanted to discuss what the police is doing, because we know after NSAS, there was a lot of talk on reformation of the police, what we're going to do, and if we want to be fair, we have seen a bit of changes in the sense that we've seen more presence on Twitter. I have seen quite a few of them. I think it's Benjamin Hundeyin has been quite active on social media. Muyiwa Adejobi has also been quite active on social media, where they will almost respond immediately to when this things happen. So we're happy about that. However, the guys on the streets are not getting the memo. There's still a disconnect. What do you think? What have you observed as a Nigerian, and what do you think can be done to also fast-track this reform the police are probably trying to achieve?
I don't know about fast-tracking. I think this sort of thing takes time. What we're talking about is training. What we're talking about is education. Because if we look at the caliber of people that apply to the police force, we've heard, I mean, we have taken stories where they talk about some of them not properly educated, you know, and it almost seems like a dumping ground for people who have not, you know, gotten a proper education, gone through school properly. And so the police has a lot of work with that level of police officers. There has to be proper education. They have to do it, whether we like it or not, because it reflects in how they do their policing job. So they would understand that the person that they are policing, the Nigerian, is your... He pays for you to do this job. He pays your salary, and your job is to protect this Nigerian. And there is a way to do it. If the person has been caught, either he has traffic infraction, whatever it is, there is a process. You don't go about screaming, shouting, carrying cutlasses or guns and hitting people for that. You lock them up. I mean, you arrest them if you have to. You give them a ticket if you need to. You correct where you need to. That is just simply education, and I feel that will take time, especially that we're talking to adults. If we had baby police officers, probably we can even say, okay, in a few years when they become this age. But with these people, we have to do serious mindset. They need to go for evolve. Serious mindset resetting, you know, before we see any
so let me come to you, Tope. I mean, your thoughts on this, especially even, I mean, you talked about traffic infractions. I mean, we saw reports of people complaining that, oh, because I did something wrong, you then wielding a gun at me. So what should be the modus operandi? Yes, we understand the mentality that they should have, but they don't have that. Very far from it. Do we want a 360 change? How do we, how do we understand the progress that they're going through right now?
You are only as strong as your weakest link, you know. So there are amazing, brilliant, hard-working, patriotic Nigerians within the police force. And I've met a few of them, and I'm really impressed when I hear them talk. I'm like, why? I don't see you on the streets. I don't see you, you know. But that's what the police at the head don't realize is that their weakest link is a reflection of about all of them. So no matter how strong you guys are at the top, your weakest link would reflect on you, and it breaks you. So it's important that you train those weak links, because they can make all your efforts seem like nothing. Now, when it comes to training, we tend to put so much budget on training. I'm a proud Ijebu girl. I like to stretch the value of money. I believe that you must find a way to work with the little resources you have and get maximum impact. So what do we want to do? We want to we want to reorientate the mindset of our police officers on the road. Those are the ones we need to deal with. And it will start from leadership, but there must be a concise, regular effort. They need to hear the right things every day. They need to start feeling that they are important, they are valuable. I see police officers try to stop me and they use a gun, and I feel like, what if you mistakenly, okay, you think, okay, it's not cocked or something, but like you can't don't do that to me. What if the person has high blood pressure and the person just in shock?
Slumps.
They do that. There are little things we can do, but it starts with how we treat ourselves. So when we help our police officers see the value in themselves, you might be wearing black and on the road and the sun is beating you, but you are doing it with dignity, and you know that you are adding value to the community. When we start helping them feel that way, they would respect themselves and they would elicit respect. I also feel that our police officers, we need to stop this begging thing. It looks bad on you. And I know that you're hungry. I know that you have bills to pay. But you can't just see people and the first thing you do is beg, because it waters down your ability to actually secure their lives. You cannot check on me if I just bribe you and I go. It just doesn't work.
So let me come to you, BC, because I know that we've seen, there was a video recently that the police dismissed an officer who was celebrating, extorting, saying that, I collect money, you know. So we have seen they're working. I mean, in fairness to the police, they are making efforts. But why is there a disconnect with these guys on the streets? The guys on the roads, they have no idea what's going on in the Nigerian police.
So the police is working. We need to applaud them for what they are doing. But what I see is there are certain jobs that require an understanding of how human behavior works. There are certain jobs that are rooted in psychology. You cannot be an effective teacher, classroom teacher, if you do not understand the psychology of children. And that's why you see teachers that will use cane and flog a 2-year-old for playing with sand, you know, because they do not understand that psychology. The police are constantly dealing with human beings on the street. They cannot be doing that job when they have a lot of trauma in themselves. It will reflect on how they treat the other person. So it's not about the person who is standing in front of them. It's about the trauma that they carry that is reflecting on their job. So when they call...
Evolve 3.0.
I'm feeling you. Go ahead.
So when they call the police and they say, we want to train them, what sort of training are they focusing on? Are they focusing on psychology, mindset change, human behavior, or they just want to train on just, you know, doing it like an ordinary job, or just teaching and they will write tests and they pass? They need to understand the workings of the police system, and they need to study other countries that have sort of perfected the workings of that system. We need to tell ourselves the truth. The average Nigerian is an angry person because of all the things that are happening that does not please them. And the police is a reflection of who we are. Now, this person who is angry now suddenly has a gun and equipment that will enforce that anger. What do you think will happen? So it's that root in psychology that the police needs to begin to look into, so that you will not see that disconnect. So the person who is sitting in the office, the salary is a bit better than that one on the street. Things are a bit working a bit better for that person. So you will not see that animalistic tendency on the ones that will come and explain to us and speak the English and say, we're going to sanction this and sanction that. But you will see the crux of the problem on those ones on the street who are in the sun, in the rain, and trying to enforce the law when also, they are not happy from within them.
Listen, we are going to be at the tail end of whatever happens with the police. So I think also this economy, I always have to look at it on both sides. The side of the people. We the people also, we have a part to play in this. We already know that the police, many of them are disgruntled, many of them are not well taken care of, they have frustrations, as you have said. Knowing that, and I am on the road, I'm about to confront the police, shouldn't I also have my own countenance speaks volumes on how condescending I look at him? Because it even aggravates him further. Because a lot of people, a lot of police officers say, is it because you have something, or, you know, they feel like because you're comfortable. So you as a Nigerian also, should there be a conduct of how you carry yourself when you see a police officer with respect and dignity, the same way you treat them abroad? Yeah, this one doesn't have the nice paraphernalia of the office like they have abroad. But if you see an American police, there's a way you accord them respect. If you give that semblance of respect to your police, even albeit looking all tattered, maybe he will feel dignified. And they'll still treat you with some respect because they're already ground and they already feel like the government has abandoned them on all levels. I'm just trying to see things on different levels.
I see what you're saying. I hear you.
Yeah.
I hear you. And on paper, it sounds like, you know, it's a point, but this is Nigeria. many people, when they approach the police, because we're already afraid of all sorts of things that can happen, many people, when they approach the police, they are, most of the time, on their best behavior. The only set of group of people, I think what you're talking about, they should listen. You see those bus drivers? I have seen sometimes when they would drive off, police officers trying to talk to them because they have done something, they're trying to drive off. Sometimes I get really upset on the police officers on their behalf. So, but normally, regular Nigerians want to be on their best behavior because they don't want to spend too much time with this police officer. Ah, good afternoon, officer. Then sometimes you just feel that because you are nice, you think, this one is weak. We will show you. Bring out your paper. Bring this. Bring out your... See, well, maybe in your case, but I have seen the fact that I've seen situations where sometimes, even because you're being extra polite, it makes them, it makes them stop you even more often because it happened to me too many times to count. So let me flip now, I have seen also where those who don't send them are driving away, they don't even bother to stop those ones. They don't even bother to want to even talk to those ones because they know that those ones, they will get, into some form of, violence with them and they let them go. So I feel that it's really about training and how the policeman puts himself. A lot of people also don't want to engage the police for too long because the next thing, as someone mentioned here, is that they're asking for something. So,
let me flip it a bit because I think it's actually the other way around if I look at it the other way. The bus drivers, they relate with these guys every day, passing the same route every single day, seeing the same guy. So they're used to the 20 naira just move, 20 naira just move. 20, they are so used to that. But you, the educated person, do you know who I am? They already have that condescending look of, you don't write it, you can't talk to me. Please, I'm going to work. I have things to do. I don't have time for this nonsense. So that look already, you might be right. We have different experiences.
I feel that,
I'm saying that
when it gets to that point is when I've given you the paper, I've given you this. You already know that all the things you have asked me to give, I've given you.
Oh, yeah.
And then next question you're
so
looking for.
That
what do you want me to do next?
Remember, you're right and I'm right. There are different experiences. There are people on this side and there are people on that side. Many don't even know. There are many. Doing that, I just got back season. When everybody's back for the holidays, everybody's like, you don't talk to me like that. You don't in America, they do that. There's also the Nigerian that feels I am educated. I don't have time for this. They take your 20 naira. I don't want your 20 naira. Show me your particulars. There are a few of those. So you're right.
You don't hear that conversation though. You see that part? That's what you just said. I don't watch you. I've never heard that one before. I just said
that one. I just said that one to sandwich.
The one that I experienced.
I have to go on a break.
Okay.
When I come back, we continue this conversation. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. We're still discussing police brutality. You can call us on 0812-7053-687, 091-390-7694. You can also tweet to us at TVC Connect. Please hashtag YourViewTVC so we can read your tweets. So I think we have Emmanuel on the phone. Good morning, Emmanuel. Are you there? Okay, we lost that call. Yes.
So I was going to share my experience with police. I sort of didn't want to tilt towards Mariam, but I've realized that they respond better to your confidence aggression. I have my documents. Do I look like I don't have my documents? Do I look like someone that does not have, you say all those things and then they let you go that this one is not going to do anything. But I tend to be polite. I tend to answer their questions. I tend to show them my documents. I tend to do all of that. And then it's a never-ending series of conversation, until they find something that they would just use to delay you, and it ends up in settling. So you might as well just settle up front. Then another category that I meet often are the ones that they don't even ask you, happy Sunday. The sun is very hot, so you don't give your sisters and brothers something to drink. Water to drink, very friendly, Ogudu Junction, they are my customers.
Calling them out.
Yes, because, they're usually
they're very
friendly.
Nice, those ladies are nice.
Yes,
they're
friendly, they smile.
In fact, I put some cold drinks for them, because they're really nice.
Yes, they smile, they greet you, and I think that's a better approach, as opposed to trying to harass people into doing so. You still want to collect, and you might as well just approach in a smiling way, I now check if I have change. And we're all facing it.
Yes,
we're all in the sun.
Yes, so.
We're all facing dollar prices going up. We're all buying Gary for expensive price. So the days when things are good, I would easily want to share with the person working. And it would really, really help. As opposed
because
to
that's who we are as Nigerians.
Yes.
Let's not pretend. We love to share. We love to give.
And we
if
love
we
to
see
beg.
a police officer
We
hot, we'll give you soft drinks. But be nice to us. You know, I have a call. Good morning, Hassan. Are you there?
Good morning, Morayo.
You're live. Go ahead, please.
Good morning, the panel members.
Good morning, sir.
Look, you see, there's an issue here. You are looking at police from the top and the middle. You need to go back to the bottom. First of all, we inherited colonial police force that is anti-people. That's number one. Number two, the recruitment process of the police. A recruitment where people take money to recruit into the Nigerian police force. You have already recruited people with a very, very bad mindset.
Exactly.
With your attitude of recruitment, taking money for recruitment. It is the public space about this issue of paying money to get enlisted into the Nigerian police force. It has nothing to do with education. If you like, be a professor. Immediately they take money from you, you know what to do. And that person that took money from you has already disarmed himself. Because taking bribes makes you poor. You understand? So we should begin to look at the recruitment process of the police.
All right.
We should begin to talk to ourselves.
Thank you, Hassan. Let me pause you for a second, because when it comes to bribe taking, it's taken and given. Somebody is given this bribe. You as a Nigerian too have that responsibility, because Nigerians, the truth is, it takes two to tango. Yeah. You that are collecting the bribe, me that I'm giving you, I'm equally guilty. Nigerians never want to go through the process. They expect me to call Mariam and say, oh, please, my sister wants to become a police, so how far, what can I do? Connection, enter. They don't want to go to the website and apply. They don't want to take their CV there. No, it happens to all of us. They call me, Morayo, please, your sister wants to go, can I enter TVC? No, there's a website. Apply online. There's a process. Nobody in Nigeria likes to do process. We like to make calls. So same thing, so the police officer is being called, please, your brother wants to enter police, so how far? Yeah, he has to give this person money. It takes two to tango. So yes, the police has an issue collecting. You, the giver, you are equally guilty. Yes. So all of us, we are in this matter.
I agree with you, Morayo. It takes two to tango, like you have said. And if we have to tackle this issue, it has to be holistic. The whole country needs a brain transplant. Everybody is behaving the same way, in different ways. So we express it. We express the madness.
We can yap the police,
and the
but
corruption in different ways.
Yes,
we don't know that. So we need to begin to look forward to a new Nigeria, and that starts from the change that we can begin to do ourselves in our own little space. So as a young Nigerian, an elderly Nigerian, you're stopped by the police. What's your first, even when the man is doing bang, 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 do you react in the same way? Yes. Or do you calmly talk to this man? Please. I have always been stopped, some of the time, but I've never really had where you stop me and say, come down. When you see my face, I smile and I say, good morning. And because most of the time I look like $1 million, we first of all size me up and like, okay, who is this person? Yeah. And when I talk to you politely, I make sure that all my papers are complete. Yeah. It's difficult to catch me. It's difficult to even catch me faulting with my papers. Yeah. So is it the paper you want, or you want me to bless you today? Which of them? Because my papers are complete.
Let me now use the example of a Nigerian recently that said that he was driving on the BRT lane and the police was wielding a gun.
How do you not know a BRT lane?
So there are two factors. There's the BRT part, yes, because the person claimed that the other cars passing and nobody stopped them. Well, we understand that. But so if a police catches you, you have been caught. There's a countenance you have. Yeah. There's a way you look at it. Either you look apologetic, sir.
Humility. You don't mess up.
Vex. This one, I know I have not entered BRT lane. Please, no vex. But if you come up with, sorry, there's no sign, there's no signage here, the person will speak a little, they will arrest you. This is Nigeria. Unfortunately, this is Nigeria. That's the Nigeria we have today. In 35, 25 years, maybe to be the kind of Nigeria that you can say, sorry, there's no sign, you don't have the right to stop me. As of today, for you to get through, you accept first your fault.
That you have messed up.
I have this one, Oga, you are right. I entered BRT, I'm not supposed to. You are very correct. Please, what is the fine? Tell me, I'll go and pay it. Now, So there are different ways. I'm not speaking for the police. I'm just saying that now the police also could have also gone with aggression. It depends on what, because you have been easily under the influence. Yeah. So there are different things. So you could have gone with aggression also, wielding his gun, which is also wrong. Either way, both were wrong. But we're saying that what's the Nigerian way to fix that kind of problem, Mariam?
Well, you know, we started the conversation where we are talking of a particular police officer that used cutlass on somebody. It has to be the way that the trained professional policeman carries himself.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He needs to understand that if there's a traffic infraction, there's a way that you stop the person and arrest the person. A lot of times, people even try to do, they make this, they break these rules knowing that they'll get away with it. Is it not to beg them?
Exactly.
Is it not to open eye? Is it not to just dash him, you know, some money?
Yeah.
But if they know that that police officer you're going to meet, he's such a professional, you're in big trouble, they will not dare it. So it has to be about the person who has been given the job to enforce, and he does it properly. I don't want us to give police, when you wield the gun for someone that was not holding a knife and cutting down someone, that's not a bandit or terrorist, it's so wrong. When you shoot into the crowd of peaceful protesters, it's wrong.
Absolutely.
You know, so that's what we need, we're talking to, and I feel that has a lot to do with training, because as you said, the group of police officers that are on Twitter and they are talking, that come on the TV stations, they are different. At least they seem to be different at the time that we're speaking to them. They say the right things. They understand the right things. They even understand that these people have their rights. But somehow, as you've mentioned over and over again, it's not trickling down.
To the ones
so
on
there's
the
problem with training and there's problem with recruitment, because people are paying for recruitment. The sort of people who are recruiting, or the people that are interested in the police, are not educated enough. And if the police is really serious about changing things, what is the police academy doing? Now that I've mentioned the police academy, then we have to talk about the infrastructure. We have seen videos. We have seen videos of how bad it is there.
From Dotun. Good morning, Dotun. Are you there?
Yes, good morning.
You're live. Go ahead, please.
Yes, I'm calling from Ekori. I'm a first-time caller.
Welcome to the show.
Yeah, by way of digression, let me say something. You people are doing a very fantastic job over there.
Thank you, Dotun.
And I appreciate you people as well.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
First and foremost, I want all Nigerians to realize one thing. And what we need to realize is that the police that we are talking about, they are actually doing a job like others, which as we do. If you come by way of appreciating them, that should be a personal thing. At least I've been in a situation whereby a police asked me and told me that I am on the street in the night while you are going home to meet your wife. So in that situation, I was like, that is the job you signed for. I didn't sign for that job. If I signed for that job, so I would also be on the street. So I said, we Nigerians, we're supposed to realize one thing. Everybody's supposed to know that these people, they are doing a job which they are being paid for.
Yeah.
And paying for it is normal.
Yeah.
So that's just my own contribution.
Thank you very much, Dotun. I mean, I just read somebody's message here that recently they were stopped by the police and they offered the person money. In this Lagos, the police said did not collect it because he wanted to get their papers. He said, "Hi, Morayo. Yes, I agree with you. The police seem to be changing because I offered a policeman 500 naira in...
This will be 500 naira.
500.
Yeah, not 500.
Said that. And he said, no, he asked my particulars, he asked my papers. When everything was complete, he wished me a very good day and allowed me to go.
Oh,
so there are those. Yes. So there is a good mix. We have the ones who have not gotten the memo. They are yet to get the memo from the IG. Because there was a lady.
You know, in all of my years, I've never met a police officer like that. I wish you got these police officers. No, I have never, ever met one that said, I don't want your money. I just want to make sure that your papers are...
There's another one. The governor of Lagos said, celebrated one policewoman. Yeah. She conducts traffic where about 10 schools in that community, like the tools that's connected to her. And she makes sure the downfalls, everybody, she's so hardworking. People give her money, and she ensures that the children cross the major roads very safely. So those who, there are those who are hardworking, who take their jobs very, very serious. However, our problem are those who wield their guns indiscriminately. We need to re-educate those ones. The ones that are under the influence, the ones that demanding bribe from us. That memo from the IG must get to them.
Yeah, Morayo, let's also talk about the love for the job. So because everybody is looking for a job somehow, let's just find ourselves in something so that we can at least earn a living. A lot of people get into jobs that they are not interested in. So you see a policeman, exerting frustration on a driver or a commuter on the road because do you think that I like what I'm doing? No be condition put me for here. Do you understand? Yeah. If we sort out their welfare, we will get people who love the job because there are people who want to really serve and help protect lives and properties. We will get those people in the job. And when we get them in the job, a lot of things are easier because you are doing something you enjoy doing. Whether you are getting perks or not, you are focusing on the job. So if the police needs to do a lot. If you go to their barracks and you see how they live, you will weep. As a Nigerian, you will cry. And that's why sometimes I just want to dash them something because I understand how it is for them, especially now that we are in an economic crisis. A lot of things, that we don't really have the purchasing power. And I wonder, those of them who are still receiving minimum wage, they haven't been paid for a while, how do they survive? We need to put that into consideration. The police, the federal government, the resources people are putting there, we are not seeing it yet. It's not reflecting in the average policeman on the street. When they die or anything happens to them, their wives are kicked out. They don't have anything to fall back on. We need to sort that as a country.
I mean, I observe. I've been saying this uniform.
Then we saw House of BC for them.
I must observe that I think on Fridays they wear that camouflage looking blue.
I saw
like
one.
the blue one.
Are you sure the ones on the streets wear it?
Yes, on Fridays.
I'm telling you, I noticed one and I was like, oh, where's Morayo? This guy looks so smart.
Cute.
I mean, usually when they see their belts, it's almost, this one, his belt was new. I was in the car with my driver, I was like, Morayo would have loved to see this policeman. Yes, and he was engaging with commuters. So this is not someone that was in a car. He was really talking and he looked really nice. I don't know, I was checking to see if there was any stars. He just looked like a regular
blue
one.
And black pants are beautiful.
Yes,
the camouflage looking one that also has grayish thing, it's fine.
Maybe we should stick to that.
So
and take out the black.
I'll prefer that blue.
To have a spokesperson from the police. I'd like to find out how often they change their kits for them. Because I've heard police officers say that they had to buy
their kits
by themselves. And out of all the budgets, the things that you have to deal with, the conversation you're saying that, the police officers talking to the Nigerian Police Commission, they are important. But I also want us to talk to Nigerians because many of us react to these police officers. We see them and we are angry.
Upset.
They have a responsibility to stop vehicles. I have to remind my driver, slow down. When they wave, slow down, greet them, we move on. I drive to Ekpe all the time and I follow Shagamu. There are stop junctions. Those stop points, when we get to the stop point, we wind down. Madam, good afternoon. I pray for you too. We say, we are going to find daily bread. God will bless your ministry. He bless my ministry. I move on. I don't even tip. But I am so pleasant to them. I go, we just change the way you respond to them. When you see them, even if they are angry, your smiling face would help their own countenance. It goes in because they are also under a lot of stress. And so we should do our own part to support them.
I know NSAS took a toll on us.
Everybody just
and we're
sees
using
them
the
as
NSAS anger to talk to every policeman. Maybe also we should also calm down and treat them with respect. Maybe we can get a better response. But I'm told that we now have the first PRO, Lumuyiwa Adejobi, on the phone with us. Good morning, sir. I hope you are ready for all our questions. Good morning, sir. Are you there?
Good morning. Good morning, my sisters in the house.
Fantastic. Good to have you. Let's start with the Cross River States matter. What's the update? What's the update with the policeman, wielding Cutlass? Where did he get Cutlass from?
Ojubo.
Well, it's quite unfortunate to have seen that thing again. I want you to know that it's an individual thing. Even no reasonable man should use cutlass or machete to flog anybody. I don't think anybody wants to punish his or her son or child and be using cutlass to flog, let alone a grown-up man, a Nigerian or harmed Nigerian. and it's quite unfortunate, and we condemn that in totality.
Okay.
But I want to assure you that the policeman has been identified. The IGP has directed that the matter be brought to the force headquarters for proper disciplinary action, and we are going to look into that matter objectively. So the policeman will be brought
Fantastic.
to the force headquarters tomorrow by the Commissioner of Police in charge of Cross River State, CP Aminu Alasan.
Wow.
I'm
Okay.
bringing him personally to the headquarters. And don't let me be judgmental about the outcome of the trial procedure, but whatever it is, we are going to get you people informed. So we condemn that in totality.
Right.
And you can see that this present administration led by IGP Usman Akali Baba will not tolerate any act of professionalism or act of indiscipline. And we don't support that in any way.
All
we
right.
have policemen who work, even from his dressing, you will know he's not a disciplined person, because policemen on the road should not even dress in that manner. So
Right.
we are not disgruntled element like a word you used the other time. We are not. Don't generalize when you are discussing police. We have a system that works. We have individuals who do whatever they want to do. So if you do something wrong out of the provisions of the law, you
Okay.
have to carry your cross.
All right. Go ahead.
So what would you advise, like, going forward with commuters and police officers? Do you advise that we use our phones to, record situations? Because I hear you and I hear your response, and it's very professional, and we like that. But the reality on ground is that he's just one of many. And we're the ones on the streets. We will tell you cannot be everywhere. This is just one person, one of so many of them. This is how they act. What should I do as a Nigerian, and how to make sure also that I can get you to respond to something that's happened to me because a policeman acted unprofessionally?
Well, one thing I want you to note is that even we officers, we go as Nigerians on our way, we drive, we move around. Even the Nigerian police personally at times, we drive his vehicle to go around and assess things. We see situations like this where even some policemen will stop us. All we need to do, what I've noticed is that most Nigerians, by the time they see policemen at a distance, they pick up offense. They don't like seeing police in any way. And it's just because of this hatred that we're having this gap. And we should not be having this gap. Police is part of the system. You cannot spell woman without man. You can't spell she without he. These are two entities that are highly inseparable. So if we see them on the road, respect is reciprocal. Talk to them, they're human beings. I can't stop you at the point I want to talk to you, and the music in your vehicle is so loud that you cannot even hear me. You feel up concerned. A policeman on the road is a human being, and they are there to do the job the way it should be done, to maintain law and order. So when you see them, at their point, respect them, I'm very, very sure they will respect you.
Okay.
But in case you see those that want to go out of their band, that's why we have gadgets everywhere. There's nothing wrong if you are videoing or taking pictures of policemen, because they have the right to do the same. I've told our men in some cases that when we have issues like this and there's argument, you too can record situations, you can record things, in case you have a case to prove. So anybody can record anybody at any time. If my IG has a function, IG will not stop anybody to record him. You're a public officer, you're a law enforcement officer, they can video you when you're on duty, except they are doing something wrong.
Okay.
That's why you can be scared of being recorded.
Let me get a
or
few
being
more
captured on
questions
tape.
for you. Go ahead.
Okay, sir, recording is very dangerous. So we've had reports of people who recorded, their phones were taken from them and they were beaten. But that's not my question. The question I have is, how often do you people communicate with those people on the streets? So you make a law or a pronouncement, and the people on the streets, the police officers on the streets, are not acting in accordance to what you have said either in the papers or the television. How often do you intimate them with the new laws and pronouncements so that they can act it out on the streets and not acting like they are not aware of what has been said?
The police has many ways of communicating to officers and men, category by category, on platforms, on various platforms by platforms. If any policeman is telling you he's not aware of the IGP's directive, he's a liar. And let me say that in as much as we are part of a society, we are bound to believe in theory of anomaly theory. There must be a deviance anywhere you have it. With more than one person, there must be a deviant behavior. So no policeman can claim ignorance of the IGP's directive or standard operating procedure of the police. The moment you are employed to the police, You are trained to know and work in line with provisions of our standard operating procedure and police act and regulations. So if any policeman on the road is saying, I'm not aware, he's just a deviant and is on his own. We have means of communicating, and I think with you, the IGP has upgraded our ICT platforms. As I'm speaking with you now, we have inspectors that can fly across board on a platform where I manage myself. I'm the admin of that platform, and on a daily basis, I upload news. I upload directives to all of them. There's no one that will not be claiming that is not aware of IGPs.
Right.
On daily basis, I man the platform myself on the instruction of the Inspector General of Police.
Right. Okay.
We talk to them. We have daily order. We have meetings. We have meetings with the CPs tomorrow again. So on a regular basis, we send CPs to them. We send area commanders to them. We send DPOs to them. And from CR department, we have platforms where we reach out to them. So anybody standing claiming ignorance of that is not being fair and is a liar.
Okay.
All right. I want you to help me clarify 3 points. Just 3 things. First, I want to ask about the mental. What is the police internal infrastructure to help with the mental health of our police officers? When I see police officers on the streets, majority of them are angry. There's a look of frustration, and it is a very, very stressful job. I feel that there must be a plan, a system that helps them to relieve the everyday stress of that job. So mental care. Number 2, second question, is about their physical kits. We see police officers and their boots are worn out. We see police officers and their uniform look like I'm sure you are looking your uniform
smart.
Is good. How often does the force, the police, replace their kits?
How many
Do they have a budget? How many do they get? How often do they get it? 2. Number 3, I want to ask about the enforcement. When we have police officers enforcing the Okada ban, enforcement of one-way drive, there seems to be a lot of aggression. I want to punish you. And there was a case that Nima reported happened in my mom's area where a stray bullet killed a young boy in a bus when they were trying to enforce the Okada ban. And the boy was abandoned, dead on the road. And these things can only be resolved by police officers. So can you help me answer these 3 questions? Thank you, sir.
Okay, let me start from the issue of mental alertness, mental health, and psychological treatment and the like. For a very long time, we've been having Nigeria Police Medical Unit, but recently the Inspector General of Police just felt that we should diversify our engagement in this medical line. And he gave approval for the establishment of what we call police counseling and support unit.
Okay.
This unit is to take care of all these things you are saying, mental health and the like, and particularly PTSD. Most of our men have just returned back from conflict theaters. They always assess our facilities, and we have our medical experts who attend to them before they are redeployed back to the field. So we take note of this, and we do this on a regular basis. So we have that police support, counseling and support unit to take care of all this. Then on the issue of uniform, recently we have been following my trends either on Twitter or on my uploads. You will notice that recently we made announcement the IGP has resuscitated a system in the police that has been abandoned for a very long time. For more than, if not for up to a decade, I've never seen where the first seconds of issuing police uniform and kits or attachment to the members of the inspectors and rank and file. So the IGP has started this, and we have done like three sets of this. And this is not just giving them uniform, it's to give them complete, I repeat, complete uniform with the headgear up and down, with a boot, raincoat, and branded items that they would use, either in the rain or at any duty they have. And this we hope, and we are very sure that we are going to sustain. And because the IGP has laid this template, and this must be sustained. So we give them this. So if you see any policeman that is trying to dress dirty, it's a personal thing. I can't look dirty because I know I have dignity. So if you have a dignity as an individual, it will look neat. Even if you're on the road, you can't be on the road for weeks. At least the highest they do is 24 hours. And then you must be a day off. So when you are a day off, you have to do your personal administration to make sure your kit and your uniform are taken care of. So, like I always say, it's an individual thing. So we give them what we should give them. If it's not even enough, but at least 80% provision has been made to make sure that our men turn out good and very, very attractive.
Okay.
And this we promise to sustain. Then the enforcement. You know, every state has laws, and the way you operate is different over space. So, for instance, let me use Lagos. Lagos has a specific law on transportation, 2018 law. And the law is saying that if you follow one way, they are going to seize your vehicle totally for feature to the government. If you follow BRT lane in Lagos, it's 50,000 naira fine. If you make U-turn where you should not make U-turn, it's 20,000 and the like. So in the case of Okada, Lagos State has banned operations of Okada in so many areas. So our men on the road are always attacked by these Okada riders. And to be sincere, we attest, the law even permits us to use minimum force in making sure we discharge our duties. So our men on the road, they have been professional in Lagos. In as much as I don't want to speak for Lagos, I speak for VIG, but I still know that I monitor everything that happens in Lagos. As of yesterday, you can see somebody was arrested, a journalist like you, and sharing fake news that policemen did it, only to discover later that he actually drove on BLT lane. You see, these are the things we manage because we are in the world of citizen journalism. We are in the world of digital media, that people can just come up with an Android and post whatever they want to post, either good or bad or genuine or fake. So we are trying to juxtapose so many things in this era because of this digital journalism.
Piero, let me jump in there for a second because we got that story too. There's an angle of that why would the policeman wield a gun at an unarmed citizen? So you want to correct an infraction. Should you be wielding your gun and threatening with your gun? That in itself is scary to any citizen, don't you think?
Well, if he has a gun, it's not to fire the gun. And it's okay to fire the gun. And the policeman, there's what we call hand guard position. What I saw there was the man was on hand guard position, not wearing gun to attack him or to shoot. I saw the thing myself, and the PRO Lagos briefing about this, and I monitor everything on social media. So if a policeman is carrying a gun, if there's something wrong, if it feels there's need for him to be on hand guard position, because that gun is for him to operate. Find him as much as we know he cannot fire. Before you fire, there are rules and procedures to follow. But that position there was what we call hand guard position. He did not do that to shoot. He didn't do that to threaten anybody, but he just to defend himself first, then to take necessary action as a policeman on duty.
Fantastic. All right. So thank you very much, Pierre. I think you answered all our questions.
It didn't specifically
answer. Thank you, Morayo. I said I should thank you for what you are doing, but you are not disgruntled element in the police, please. Thank you. I enjoy the rest of your day.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
That's all we can take on that. Thank you so much. I think but at the end of the day, police brutality is something that is not just from the side of the police, the side of the people also, both ways. Both of us must respect the police, and the police also must do enough to ensure that that we're safe and they're not brutalizing our citizens. That's important. So if we want to do a review from NSAS tonight to date, we said there has been a bit of improvement on what we see, but it can be better. There's a lot more work to be done. So we hope that there's improved communication. We hear from them more often. We hear from them. They're constantly talking on social media. I mean, I'm so happy that they're always talking on social media. That's a good thing. So we'll see how that goes. That's going to break now. It's Tuesday. We can't but have a health topic, and we'll be discussing breastfeeding. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.